I mean, let's play. Let's actually get out and play. I don't like noon games. You know, you're always trying to pull teeth at the start, it seems. And on the road, noon games are even more difficult. And I just felt like we weren't who we have been. I think we're playing good basketball. And we started the third period with 8 consecutive stops. And it just jump-started our life, like we got playing again. It was something like that.
People look at the game and from the outside and say Covington starts like 1 for 6 and 0 for 4 and this and that. Gets you like 5 steals,
Yeah.
12 rebounds, whatever it is, scores big at the end. Like just role players like that, him, TJ, how much does that mean when maybe Joel's not going great or somebody else isn't? Or are you seeing more of that?
I think they are the types of personalities, they are the types of toughness, they have that spirit that we want to have our program be built around. You know, it's you hear me say it all the time, it's the city of Philadelphia, and we need that grit. We need to build it through defense and that toughness. And, you know, Robert takes hits when he misses threes, but when you dig in and you see like the totality of his game, he had 13 deflections tonight. We chart deflections. How many times you get a hand on a ball, even though you might not get credited with a steal. And so the defense, the toughness, the rebounding, and then, you know, when he makes shots, that's the elusive two-way player. But those types of people are what we're trying to do to grow our program. And they're good young players.
7th straight game where you've had the lead heading into the 4th. How is your team growing in that aspect?
I think that we're starting to play team defense the way that we want to. I feel that, you know, we're starting to get a little bit of a rotation, a rhythm to what we're doing. You hear us talk all the time about that balance of, you know, giving people minutes and growing people and looking at things versus trying to, you know, give your team the best chance of winning. And sometimes they are mutually exclusive. And there's no book that tells you how to figure that out. And so I think that slowly, you know, we're getting into a rhythm of all those types of things. And there's more of a consistency with the group, both I think in rotation and in structure with what we're trying to get done.
What really stood out to you the most on that 13-0 run at the end of the game?
A togetherness, a commitment, a response to what we talked about at halftime. The recognition that that's all we have. We're not going to like give it to somebody and say, go to work and, you know, bring us back. We don't have that type of team. And everything that we do, offense or defense, has to be done in totality. It has to be done as a whole. And when we don't do it as a team, then offensively and defensively, we either get stagnant offensively or things break down defensively. And I thought that the communication and the togetherness, the focus to start that third period was excellent.
Do you feel more comfortable having defenders come off the bench as opposed to, I don't want to say more comfortable, but Nerlens is a big defender. Is it easier going to a big defender coming off the bench as opposed to a big offensive only?
I think both Gerald Henderson coming off a bench and Nerlens, you know, gives you more oomph defensively for sure with that second group. And, you know, you're just trying to find those people really that can guard their own man, to take pride, and we call it guarding the yard. Can you defend somebody for 3 slides? And on the 4th slide, if people go by you, good help teams defensively will be there. And so simply, can you guard the yard? Can you guard your man? And I think those 2 players, to your point, coming off the bench, help achieve that.
Brett, while you experiment with the bigs, what are you learning in this chapter of the experimenting without Jaleel, but more with Nerlens and Joel?
You know, I mean, everybody has their own skill set. And if you ask me, like, what am I learning about Nerlens, is that he does what Nerlens does, you know? Like, Jaleel is a professional scorer. He really can score the basketball. You know, Nerlens isn't that. Nerlens is more of a, you know, up and down deer. He's a gazelle running rim to rim, one way on offense, one way on defense. And so, you know, you just sort of look at them for the skills that they were blessed with. And what I have said all along is we've learned that you can't jam three into one position. It's just short changes and is unfair to everybody. One of my assistants showed me a clip of Nick Stauskas making a three, and you see Rashawn and Jahlil Okafor up swinging towels. That, out of everything that we've just said today, that means the most to me. I have tremendous respect for the way Jahlil Okafor and Rashawn Holmes have handled this. Wonderful teammates. And so at the moment, it's a long year. That was a small ball game. Nerlens got the nod, and I thought that he did well. Those two qualities, running one way, running the other, then having the ability to protect the rim is what Nerlens does.
You've got as many wins now as all of last year, and I know that's not the way necessarily you're weighing progress, but you're at the point now where you're expecting, you almost have won 4 in a row basically now, very close to that. Is it the point where you're expecting the wins come with the progress, and you should be in every game now?
We slowly feel that way. We are more, as maybe not as exciting as everybody wished it would sound. It's like you're still very concerned about what you're doing and the things that are going into putting the program together. And we believe those wins that you're talking about will come. We feel extremely solid with the detail behind all the stuff, whether it's scouting or analytics or what we do at practice or whatever, that adds to all of this. We are mindful of that number you just said. It's true, we've been winning in third periods 7 games in a row. We are winning basketball games more frequently than we have been. But for us, it's still like, how are we doing what we do? Are we doing our job? Are we not skipping steps? Are we putting in good days? And we believe, as simple as that might sound, that they will add up, that they do count for something. And that has been the byproduct of some of those things I just said.
What is your take on Noel? What is your take on Noel rookie season so far?
I mean, he's a good young kid, you know, like you're trying to find ways to get him in the game. I'm not uncomfortable playing him. I have played him sporadically. Sometimes after the game, I wished I'd given him more minutes. I think it's a little bit like our big situations. You either want to give him, 10, 12 minutes and keep him in some level of a rotation, or probably not, unless it's a blowout, put him in games and just give him little sections of 3 minutes. It's not really that fair. It's hard to do anything in a game. His athleticism and his toughness, I think, in my opinion, are going to make him a long-time NBA player.
What is going to be Joel's improvement as a passer throughout the season?
Well, look at that pass. Funny you should say that. I thought one of the big parts of the game was Joel Embiid just passing to Dario Saric for that three. It's people are coming at him all the time. Truly, he needs to respond in those situations at times better than we all have. Some of it's on him, some of it's on me coaching the team better around him. But in general, he needs and is a willing passer. He needs to quarterback the gym. They are coming to double team him. It's no mystery, they're coming to double team you. And so the 4 spots and the position that we put the other 4 guys is crucial. And that's something as simple as getting Joel Embiid the ball and not cutting time, and then him throwing it back out to Dario Saric willingly for that big three. I thought that was the game. That was a big pass.